Well, hello, and you are watching another episode of the Live Today show right here on CAN TV Channel 21. I'm Dr. Sheri, your host for the show and the founder of the Live Today Foundation, where our mission is to provide joy, inspiration, and free compression garments to under-resourced cancer patients and survivors living with lymphedema. Now, guys, we have a very special guest to kick off 2022. But before I introduce this young woman, I want to show you guys, let me share my screen because I want to make sure you have the opportunity to get out here and follow us and check us out on our website. I want you to go out to our website at www.live-today.org. I'm telling you guys, it is chock full of tons of resources that would allow you, again, to live today and every day while you are working through your journey of living with lymphedema. If you are in need of compression garments, you, a loved one, or you just have more questions, or you'd like to be a guest on the show, you have additional resources that you want to make known to other cancer patients and survivors, shoot us an email at info@live-today.org and talk with us, communicate with us. You can always pick up the phone and give us a call at 754-220-0234. And if you follow us on social media, or if you have a social media account and you didn't know that we were there, well, honey, we are there. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our handle is livetoday.org. That's livetoday.org. And please feel free to follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel so that you'll be made aware as soon as a new episode has posted. But go back and take a look at all of the episodes that we have posted on, oh my gosh, going on nearly 3 years now. I cannot believe we have had the Live Today show for that long. But just search the Live Today Foundation, and you will be able to get exactly what you need in reviewing all of our shows. So now, guys, I have the wonderful opportunity. Oh, man, now we got to get back to my special guest, Barbara Jackson, also known as Babz, right? Babz is an occupational therapist. She's a certified lymphedema therapist and a yoga teacher. She is certified in yoga for cancer, Love Your Brain, yoga for trauma training, and is Reiki attuned. Babz integrates her clinical techniques into her yoga and self-care practices. She has studied the effects of yoga and mindfulness with multiple populations. And she is eager to introduce her 6-week wellness program to help teach and support those who are living with lymphedema and for those who are at risk for developing lymphedema. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, Barbara Jackson, or we're just gonna call her, Babz is just so appropriate for you because you have just the most adorable face and presence. You're definitely a Babz.
Thanks.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. I have been looking forward to this show since you and I were introduced to each other. And it's so funny because when I do my brief interview with guests that I am entertaining to be on the show, it's always funny with that first call when you're seeing each other for the first time. You can get a feel for that person just by looking at them. And I'm telling you, when you came on the screen, before you ever even open your mouth, because you did it right, you sent me all types of resources. I was able to do all types of due diligence and research on you. So I knew that you were someone that I wanted to meet. But by God, when I looked at that beautiful face and felt that beautiful spirit coming through the computer, I knew I had to have you here.
Thank you. That means a lot, coming from you especially. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much again. And listen, I have a lot of questions for you, so I want to jump right in. Can you share with us your inspiration for why you do what you do?
Of course. So when I was in middle school, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she ended up having to have a bilateral mastectomy and reconstruction and went through chemotherapy, radiation, the whole works. So it was a really tough experience for her and kind of for the whole family, as many patients and many caregivers and family members know, it doesn't just affect the person, it affects the whole community that supports the person. So as I grew up and decided to go to college and was deciding on a career, I knew I wanted to help people, but I didn't really know what exactly path I wanted to go down. So I became an occupational therapist. And then a couple years later, after my mom's treatment, she was diagnosed with lymphedema. And so that's when I kind of was like, okay, I'm an occupational therapist. How can I help her? And how can I better serve my mom, who has done everything for me and has given me life? So I decided to enroll in a lymphedema certification course and to treat her. So that is my primary inspiration all along. So it really helps to see her, and she's now 15-year survivor, so she's doing amazing. And she just is really taking control of her own health and well-being, and I'm just so happy that I played a part in her healing process. And
I'm so happy that you did too, because listening to your story, I was the mom in that story, and I had two daughters when I was diagnosed. I'm going into my 14th year survivorship. And what is so impactful was that my mom was in the end stages of her life when I was diagnosed. And so while I was going through chemo, I lost her. And it's interesting how, because of your mom's journey, and her and I had similar, partial mastectomy, 15 rounds of chemo, 33 treatments of radiation, and within a year, I developed lymphedema. It is interesting that you were driven to somehow be a blessing to your mom and to impact her survivorship because of what she's meant to you. And my drive in creating the Live Today Foundation and continuing to do what I can to bless individuals on the struggle is because of the wonderful relationship I had with my mom. But because I lost her during treatment, it's almost like my honoring and gift to her, that I'm continuing a legacy that she wasn't able to be with me through the entire process. But I want her proud in knowing that a legacy was left because of what she meant to me. And you, my love, are leaving a tremendous legacy because of your insight to not only incorporate what you learn as a certified lymphedema specialist, but again, you take it further, and you're finding ways to bring in nutrition and bring in yoga and bring in fitness, right? To address the whole man, not just the cancer diagnosis or not just lymphedema, but the things that you're doing, really, anyone should do. Anyone can benefit, right? And be elevated to a higher level. And so part of your creation is you've created something called Living with Lymphedema. And it's a Living with Lymphedema yoga wellness program. So what exactly is that, and how can it benefit patients who are living with lymphedema?
Of course. Well, I just want to say that your story about your mom and your passion is really what drove me to you as well. And that you really took something that was negative and you really are now making such a wonderful contribution to individuals with lymphedema. And so just thank you for that. And your mom's here with us, and she's watching over you, and she's happy. So the Living with Lymphedema program, it's a 6-week program. We meet once a week on Zoom, so anyone in the world can do it. And so we have a discussion at the beginning. So we talk about how to complete self-manual lymph drainage, various compression garments, nutrition. We talk about kind of the psychosocial aspects of having lymphedema or having cancer or being a survivor, and now what do you do? So at the beginning of the program, we have kind of a discussion, and then we dive right into yoga and meditation for the lymphatic system. So I started this because I was at home with my mom after college for about 2 years, and I was able to compression bandage her, massage her every day, watch her, make sure that she was doing everything. But as I grew up a little bit and I moved now to Boston, I couldn't be as hands-on with my mom. So I was like, okay, so how can I still make sure she's staying kind of on track of her healing? So I created a wellness program that she can come to. And so it started off by kind of like, hey mom, I have this program, I'd really like it for you to join, kind of a thing. And then now I've run it for about 6 sessions so far, and she's come every single time. So Yeah, and now she's doing yoga independently. And this was a woman who was kind of like, nope, I'm not doing yoga. What's that? Like, I'm not doing that. And she couldn't even really touch her toes at the beginning or didn't want to do any of it. And now she's drawn to it because it's self-healing. And so that's living with lymphedema. It's a community that we've built.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now if I sign up and I know that you have like regular sessions on regular days, as long as I'm registered, right? And let's say work causes me to miss that session, will I get a link for the recording and I can go back and participate?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So people sign up for 6 weeks, and then so I run it pretty much quarterly throughout the year. And if someone had a doctor's appointment or couldn't make it that day, yes, they receive the recordings. And then I also send an email just to make sure that they're feeling comfortable with that topic. And I also have videos that share the topic that we discussed too.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? I am going to sign myself up.
That'd be awesome.
Because I am doing your daily videos now for the month of January, and I'm telling you, when I get done doing my regular exercise routine, I'm excited to come back inside to pull out my yoga mat and set you up on my iPad and then get down on there on the floor with you and just work through it. So I will definitely share the link so that individuals can go out there and get registered in the show notes. And I'm also, you and we're going to hook up because I would like part of your options for your courses at some point to include prevention, because we now have the ability to detect lymphedema in its early stages when it is reversible. So for those cancer patients who just state, I want to get involved with yoga, I want to do better about my nutrition and my health, I heard about Babz, and so now I'm joining. I don't have lymphedema yet, but hey, I want to do this for my natural survivorship to feel better and quality of life. And then I want to be able to get in there, share some information about prevention, and then bam, now they have the tools, if they've already been diagnosed, how to better live with it. And then if they have not been diagnosed, tools that they can use to help prevent being diagnosed. So, I mean, God sent you to me. I just know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. This was divine intervention. So with that in mind, can anyone, even if they don't have lymphedema, participate in the course Living with Lymphedema Yoga Wellness Program? Can anybody participate?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's anyone who's at risk for lymphedema. So say they were newly diagnosed with breast cancer or with really any type of cancer, and that they know that their lymphatic system is going to be disrupted in some type of way. Mm-hmm. So if they're going through chemotherapy, radiation, lymph nodes removed, or if they've been a cancer survivor for X amount of years, don't have lymphedema, but want to know about what it is, what the signs and symptoms, and like you said, preventative care. So it's open for anyone either who is diagnosed or at risk in some way.
Okay. So now when is the next course going to be held?
February 1st. So we meet on Tuesdays. There's 2 groups. So there's one group for the upper body lymphedema. There's one group for lower body lymphedema.
Nice.
So the upper body meets at 10 to 11 a.m. on Tuesdays, and the lower body meets from 12 to 1. And the upper body is a floor-based class, so you have to be able to get on and off the floor. But the lower body class is a chair-based yoga practice.
Oh, fantastic. You have thought of it all. I love it. I love it. Now, I mentioned before, but I want you to spell out a little bit more in detail. For the month of January, you're doing something pretty special. Can you share with our audience what it is?
Yes, this is something that I've been working on for a really long time. This is free. It's a free program, and you can do it anytime, really. So it's on my YouTube channel, Balance with Babz Yoga, BABZ. And so every day in the month of January, I'm posting a free video.
Okay, wait a minute. You said you're posting a what kind of video?
A free video.
What? What kind of video?
A free video.
There we go. Okay, I had to do 3 times for good measure.
And it's all there. There's many different topics. I know, Dr. Sheri, you're engaging in it. So we were talking earlier, but every day. So the first week is really about the body. So doing practices to loosen the shoulders and the neck, the wrists, the hips, low back, all body parts. And then the next week, so next week in January will be for the mind. So yoga for monkey mind, yoga for anxiety, yoga for kind of all the mind. And then the third week in January will be soul. So we'll go a little bit deeper. And then the fourth week is the chakra centers, which are energy centers along the body. So it's a lot, but it's really, so it's a journey to balance is what I called it. So by connecting with all of these different parts, it really will help you to cultivate balance in your life. So.
Oh my goodness. And it's free. I'm telling you guys, I signed up. I've been doing them every day and I love it. It's something, it's interesting because after my diagnosis, I can't tell you the number of individuals that I have come across during my travels as a professional speaker internationally and here in the US, the number of times that people had told me, breast cancer patients and survivors who had gotten involved in yoga and said, they really feel better. They feel better, mind, body, spirit. It just kind of just addressed it all and really helped. And then I do a little bit and then I didn't because life would happen. I would travel. I couldn't get to the classes. And if I signed up with something locally, but then I'm traveling from work, then I'm missing everything. And so then I'm just like, but you, Babz, have not brought something where I can get it anywhere. I can get it if I'm going, if I'm traveling, because in my hotel room, bam, I can get on the floor. I can put you on YouTube and then I can do it. And so now I don't have an excuse not to dive into the yoga, mind healing, spirit healing, and even the nutritional benefits that will come with the relaxation and the release of my chakras. All of that was going to affect my organs internally just by taking the proper steps. I now have no excuses. And I thank you for removing the excuses because I know that I'm already benefiting from it. I can see the difference just even in the stretches that you have us going through. Each day I'm like, oh, I was able to stretch a little bit further. All right. So we have no choice. So you got to go out there for that. I'll make sure that in the show notes, they also know about that. And can I ask you, do you have any additional resources, say for at-risk or already diagnosed patients with lymphedema?
Yeah, I do. So I've created something called a Padlet, which is a website that has all these different resources on it. So I've created my own videos that will link you to my YouTube channel, but also so the World Wide Web is a crazy place. So if we Google lymphedema, I don't recommend it to anyone because it's going to take you through all of these things and oftentimes worst case scenario, or it's going to lead you to not feel great, I think. Mm-hmm. So that's what I've heard from my patients who have come in and been like, I've got this diagnosis and I looked online and is my arm going to be this big? And I'm like, okay, let's take it step by step. So I kind of have created a one-stop shop type of thing. So it has everything, every kind of topic you need to know. And if there isn't any topics that are there, please email me and I will add them and I will make a video. So I think it allows, the website and the resource allows the person to be in the own driver's seat of their care. So whatever stage they're in, they can look and say, okay, I'm not at risk, but I have it. So what can I do? And it kind of guides you through different ways. Because I've heard a lot from my patients and the participants that when you're going through treatment, your life is so structured and the doctors women, okay, on Monday, Wednesday, you have chemotherapy, you have radiation. It's very structured. And then after you're done, the whole survivorship is very up in the air.
Yes.
And so I found that at least this gives you a place to go and kind of a direction. And whether that's more for your mental health, your physical health, or your connection with your body still, it gives you a good way to locate all of the things that are out there for you and that you deserve to receive and deserve to learn about and be supported continually through the rest of your life.
Again, that resource, if you will allow me, I believe you, I got to put it on my website. Oh my God, I clicked on that link and I was like, whoa, all right. This is not, guys, I'm telling you, this is not just something where you go to it and you're just going to see something that look like a Word document that just has some words and you just kind of read about lymphedema, what it is. When she says it's a resource list, it is a resource list. And so on the Live Today website, we do have a patient education resource page. Your link will be on it, with credit to Babz, because that is tremendous. And you're right. When you get diagnosed, it's overwhelming because and usually by the time you get diagnosed, 75% of at-risk patients are diagnosed within those first 3 years. And what happens is you go from, like you stated, a very regimented time period for 9 to 10 months or 12 months. And right, you have your set thing. You're being the good patient. You're showing up on this day, when you're supposed to, and then you get your certificates or they ring a bell or whatever, and then poof, okay, you're done. But you're really not done, because your care and how you care for yourself affects what can happen. Right. So if since there are abilities out there to now prevent lymphedema, if you're not aware of them and you don't go and get regularly tested for your intracellular fluid, you don't regularly follow a routine protocol, life will change for you. Because once you have lymphedema, it is permanent. It is not curable. It is there to stay. And so when you're kind of just left out there to the wolves, like I said, I've had different people to tell me about yoga, and I try to do it here, and then somebody else to say something, and I try to do it there. But I love the way that when you give a concise resource list where you can kind of get some information, even if there's something that you mentioned that somebody says, well, I want a little bit more to go on, you at least put it out there on their brains for them to focus on and to research more into, to try to get more out of it, as opposed to just being out there. It just becomes too overwhelming, and you're already tired from treatment. You're grateful to be free. You hear people talking in your ear that there are other things that you need to do, but you don't know what. Mm-hmm. And you provide a beautiful segue into the what. So how and where can our audience engage with you? I mean, as you can see, you and I, we could talk for the next 5 hours, and I'm sure individuals that are going to view this show are going to want to know, how can I possibly engage with her? How can they do that?
Yeah, so I think support is everything. So to combat stress and anxiety and maybe depression or any of that kind of lasting effects of either your cancer treatment or your new diagnosis, I think first reach out to a loved one in your family and kind of say, okay, let's see where I'm at. And I think first thing is kind of just locating one person in your life that you can talk to, and then talk to me too. You can email me. So I just say the one person because I think it's really helpful when you tell someone you're doing something. So if you're going to sign up for my Living with Lymphedema program, tell your best friend, tell your friend, say, hey, so that you have that encouragement. Because I think a lot of times it's really easy to fall off the regimen of doing things. So first, find somebody in your life that you're like, I really need support, and can you push me a little to guide me to continually heal myself. So on all platforms, on all social media, I'm Balanced with Babz, and Babz is Babz. So on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Gmail, my email. But email me with questions, and if you'd like me to send you the resources or add you to my list of participants. But yeah, I think just reach out, and that's the first step in really taking control of your care.
Absolutely. Now, I believe I read somewhere that you have another program that's coming up that's starting, I think, is it the 15th of this month?
Yes. That's specifically for individuals with breast lymphedema. So I've teamed up with a nutritionist, Jean Lamatia. She's published a couple books, and she's a wonderful person. She's very knowledgeable. And so we're on January 15th from 12 to 2. We are going to host a self-care and nutrition webinar. So I'll teach manual lymph drainage for breast drainage, compression garments, compression bras, and then some yoga and breath work to improve the lymphatic flow. And then Jean will talk about nutrition and how you can better help yourself through nutritional guidance.
Fantastic. I have so many links and stuff that I have to give my audience because of you, and I love it. I love it. I will make sure that this is in the show notes, and I'll make sure that when I post about the show, that all of your links are there. And I'll continue to send them reminders because you're such a wealth of information. I want to make sure that I send the links that tie in with an upcoming course, but not too far out, because you're offering so darn much, girl. I want to make sure that they're able to stay in touch with what's coming up, but give them enough lead time to go ahead and get registered. Do you have any parting words for our audience?
Sure. I want to just reiterate that you're not alone, that there is so many people who have come to my group and been like, I've tried to talk to my family and friends about this, but it's hard. Sometimes friends and family don't want to just spend your time talking about that. So this really gives a good opportunity it's kind of a support group, but it's everything in combination with that. So having just people you can go to who have been there and who understand and who have really loving and kind advice, and mainly that you're not alone and there is support and guidance for you. And I really encourage you to reach out and be an advocate for yourself and for your own healing and well-being.
Wonderful. Now, don't go anywhere, Babz, because I want to make sure that I also share with the audience again on how they can find out more information about the Live Today Foundation. Now, guys, again, on my website, Babz information is going to be there. That resource list that she described, that's like golden, it's going to be on the website under the patient's resource page. So go out to www.live-today.org. Again, if you have any questions about what's happened today or discussions, or you didn't catch how to get in touch with Babz, or you want to find out more about the link so that you can sign up for her yoga courses, shoot us an email at info@live-today.org, and we will put you in touch with her. And feel free to give us a call at 754-220-0234. And again, on social media, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We love it when you engage with us. We love it when you comment. We love it when you ask questions. So find us at livetoday.org. That's Live Today, DOTORG. And go out to YouTube to watch all of our previous episodes, including today's episode, and subscribe to the channel so that you will be informed and notified when new episodes post. Babz, AKA Barbara Jackson. I like Babz. You have been an amazing guest. You've been an awesome resource. You will continue to be a valuable resource to the Live Today Foundation, because this was just the introduction to Babz, to Balance with Babz. This is just the introduction. But what I would love to do is to be able to bring you back when it works with your schedule, because you are doing so much now. And then you can walk us through. I want to see you down there on the mat. I want people to really appreciate what it is like to hear your voice, and you're guided. It's almost like a guided meditation, even though we're not meditating, but it's something so soothing about your voice when we're going through our yoga classes. I want individuals who may not click on the link and may not sign up and see your daily classes during the month of January. I want them to see you in action, because I believe when they do, it will change the way they view yoga, their body, nutrition, their mindset. And if nothing else, it gets you moving. Yoga is always that simple thing that just gets you moving, and sometimes just moving, just getting that moving going will now start your whole mindset process of, oh, I guess I do need daily exercise. Or I guess I really do feel good when I'm moving correctly. Because it's all about also making the right moves, but moving correctly and with the right posture. And so it's just awesome. You've been amazing. Thank you so much. Give hugs and kisses to Mom, because Mom's experience and what she means to you and her journey changed your life. And as a result, all of the dominoes that you have impacted, including me, have now been changed because of you.
Thank you.
You have been awesome. Guys, this has been an episode of the Live Today show. And remember, I'm Dr. Sheri, and I want you to remember to always be present, take charge of your life, and live today and every day. God bless, guys.